There were days I wanted to fucking kill you.
Yeah,
I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
And him.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah.
Howdy. Join me as I chat with Christine Armstrong about the routine behind her weekly vlog. We chunk this process into pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. You can go to matus.com/routine for the checklist we follow that's made this repeatable for over 4 years. Something you can share with your team to build your brand without burning out.
You were saying I should do video. As you said, I was a speaker at that time. I had pretty booked calendar. I was doing okay, kind of starting out, but had good bookings, not at a massively high price point, but it's kind of like, yeah, this is working. March 20th arrives, boom, an entire calendar of bookings is wiped out. And you're on the line going, right, let's make this vlog. I've been telling you this is the thing, let's do it.
It's the stamina that you're bringing to it that not everyone's going to bring to it. It's almost like you said, it's that dedication of how many hours a week do I need to do this? How am I actually going to make this repeatable? Because it's kind of like delayed gratification, isn't it? It's like, it's quite a weight.
I think the first year was the most brutal because it was the hardest learning curve. We had the kids at home. It was a tough year anyway. There wasn't income. It felt like we were spending money. Nothing was really coming into the business. So it just felt like, honestly, it just felt like a drain. And it was really hard. I think as we've got better at it and as the link between what we put out on the vlog and how well known we are and the expectation that we're a higher, more sought after kind of brand, that we've invested in the brand and that has a perception in terms of people, what they're willing to pay for your time. I think as we've seen that, then suddenly it becomes like, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, this is a really great thing to do.
There's been a lot of people burning out, like 10 years into the YouTube game. They're just done. It's like it was a dream job, but then it became this all-encompassing.
I can see it. It's a monster. It's a beast. It's a real beast. And you have to, like anything else, you have to feed it as much as it needs to survive, but not overfeed it. And that is just a constant dance. Because I could spend 5 days a week making the vlog and it would do so much better. It would be amazing. But you've got other work to do. We've got 3 kids. You've got a life.
Do you think you're going to be doing this another 4 or 5 years from now?
I think we will. I think it's going to look really different. And I think we'll probably give more time to it than we do now, actually, weirdly.
One of the observations I had when we looked through that content, it's cool. It feels like every year it's better. But it also led me to like, had you done the quality of video you did in 2020, would that even work now?
No. I see people doing it, honestly,
Right.
and it's I don't want to sound arrogant about it. It's just like when you've been through the pain, you develop a kind of sense of what's connecting and what's not. You learn stuff, and you were brilliant at teaching us this because I was, you were like, get lights. So what do I need lights for? You get mics. Like, what do we need mics for? And just you start to see the effort that people have or haven't put in. And I see people coming in, they do a couple, they do them to camera, and then they disappear because it's so bloody hard. And it's really easy to watch a good piece of footage and go, hey, I could do that. I can film it. Some people can, but it takes more effort than you think. So we've had various bits of advice, and you talk to YouTubers, and it's one of the tensions, and they're like, have a really clickbaity headline, say something really explosive, slag off a big brand, take the piss out of a big brand. I'm like, the way that my business thrives is working with big corporates. So we can't be too edgy. We can't make it clickbaity for the sake of it because that doesn't fit with our brand. It doesn't fit with what we do or what anyone would ever buy us for.
I respect that there's like quite a focus on algorithms and it absolutely affects LinkedIn. I'd say YouTube less so, but I feel it's ultimately like, are you respecting the audience at the heart of it? I've seen it on corporate projects. There isn't enough of a commitment. There is no desire to internally have the hard chats about, is this actually interesting to the audience? What is their payoff for spending 2 minutes, 4 minutes, like all of that? And I think you've become ruthless at prioritizing that. I think that's part of the reason it works.
We try to. I don't think we're as good at it as we should be, but I think, trying to give the payoff. So if you said you're going to answer a question, you've got to darn well make sure that you've answered it. And I think early days we made a lot of mistakes with that. I still think sometimes we get that wrong. I think we could put more work into that, but I think that really matters. And if you think people think you're going to be duped, they don't want to give it their time. In my brain, in terms of audience, the people that engage with our staff are leaders of people, they are learning and development people, they are marketing people, they're events people. So what do they want to hear? They need new, they need interesting, they need engaging, they need to walk away with a little nugget of information, a little, oh yeah, that's great, I can take that somewhere else. That's really useful to me. In the early days, I also someone I really trusted who said, you'll never do well on video because you need an audience. And I get that. I do prefer, if I had a choice, an audience. because it gives me, as you say, the response and the buzz, and I love the reading the room, I love the people. I think I replicate that to some extent because Chris, my husband, films it, so I think I use him as my audience, but I would find it, those people who just do it with a handheld, I think that's mind-blowingly alarming. So I think that's probably the big energy difference, and you do have to lift yourself up and buzz into it. And you know, sometimes we're filming at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, the kids are in the background, it's pouring with rain, you know, because I'm about to go on the road all week and I'm not back, and Adam's going, you don't film it now, we're never going to get this out on Friday. So, you know, and your smiley face, here we go. And other days, you know, it's much easier.
When was the point where you're like, okay, this is like, this feels sensible for business?
I think it's very, very gradual. I don't think that there's a point, but there are these little moments where somebody calls and said, hey, somebody recommended you and I saw your vlog, so I thought I'd give you a call and see if you're available for an event. I think it just means that you're known to a much wider group of people. When people recommend you, they've got something they say, I saw a speaker, she was fab, you know, have a look at her stuff. And also it's very Marmite. People watch the vlog and they know whether you're the right person for their event or not in a second. So you're much more likely to then be successful. When you do the briefing, they already know pretty much what you're buying. They know your subject areas and they feel generally pretty warm towards you. Otherwise they wouldn't have booked you. So the pleasure of doing business this way is that nobody works with you who doesn't want to work with you, doesn't like you. So it's brilliant. One of the things we do with the vlog is we cut in bits of things that I'm doing and people are like, oh yeah, she could come and do that for us. Oh right, she does a workshop, she facilitates this. Oh, she's got a video series of her own. Okay, we could buy that.
It's tough, but it's on you to keep the door open to the feedback. It's like the person giving it has to be aware of the arena bit. I get it. And at times I feel awkward being the behind the scenes, like, but you did a job of not shutting that door, and that's not always been my experience. Sometimes people are just like, wow, this is really brutal. I don't like how hard this is.
When you're doing it, like you're in the arena sweating and someone's going, do it again, do it again, do it again.
Christine,
the
you look
light's
tired.
not right.
That joke sucks.
You didn't iron your shirt. Why is there something on your top? Why is your lipstick off? Why is there a light behind your head? I'm so distracted by that candle. And it just feels like you're being machine gunned. You're like, I'm just trying to do this thing, okay? I've got a 5-minute window. I've set up a shot. I've delivered it. I've got the words out. I'm thinking about the content and the words, and someone else is going, there's a candle in the background. There's a reflection. You do something weird with your lips, you stumbled over a word, can you reshoot it, can you reshoot it? And you're like, oh, it's really easy for everyone else to ask to reshoot it. And you're just like, I'm just trying to get the kids' tea. So that is the real tension point. And I think for you, it was really hard to know how hard to push and when to just go, okay, this is as much as we're going to get this week. And I think that calibration week after week was, you know, it was like a dance almost.
Is it possible to do it without it though?
No. Well, it depends, because you've got to have the right level of perfectionism. If you were a total perfectionist, you'd never ship anything. You'd never get it out. And if you're too casual, and I think in the early days I was too casual because I was like, I don't really know why I'm doing this, then it's shit. So you've got to find some point between that where you're just like, got to ship it.
That's the sobering thing I think about video is when it's not interesting or valuable to the audience. Yeah, the algorithms have something to do with it, but ultimately, like, if you focus on it being interesting and you go through the hardship, should I script this out? What's the foreshadowing? What's the hook? All of that, then it works. And in a way, thank goodness, it's hard.
There's only two kinds of video. There's good video and there's video that's turned off. What you come to realize quite quickly is that there's a huge number of very, very different skill sets. So there's a technical skill set, and I've been really lucky that Chris is really comfortable with the technical side of it. There's the performance talent piece of it, which is like showing up to the camera. There's script writing, headline writing, thumbnails. There's the newsletter that goes out with it. And then there's the commenting and engagement on LinkedIn, which is massively important.
You do it so well. There's the video, but then there's all the meat and the discussion. You're there. It's not someone doing it for you. It is totally unscalable, but I think that's why it works. It's you in there actually listening to people. Some of them don't like what you're saying. It's all of that, but it's like you're in it and you're commenting and you're furthering the conversation. To do a good job, you have to both get emotionally invested and then be able to get out of it. And it's that data of like you spend an hour on something. Sometimes you spend weeks on something, right? And a moment, a conversation happens, and it's like the idea is dead. And it's almost that internal kind of stamina to be like, this is what it means to work in creativity. Like you are discarding ideas left and right. It's like when you're doing stand-up and the joke bombs or whatever. And it's like, okay, all right, maybe I can twist it. No, I guess I let it go. You also have to get comfortable with, is this a person I want to have harder chats with?
If I was kind of like, I don't know, a gun for hire editor, where we didn't have these conversations, I deliver the edit, and then it might do well, it might not do, but that's fine because I've got my money, whatever. But because we've built this relationship, I'm also really invested in like it going well, because I'm just as excited about like creating this thing as you are. There's frequently maybe a really, really niche joke that I know that maybe, I don't know, a tiny % of the audience will get, but if they get it, they will love it. Because it's like, I'm talking, we're talking directly to
There's
them.
some really geeky gags in there.
Sometimes I'll spend an hour on one gag and I will think it's hilarious. And you'll be like, oh, I don't think it works. And I'll go, yeah, you're probably right.
Early days, I'd be too scared to tell you. I was like, I just don't know.
You have described the creative profession. What should be on your brain if you're about to enter into trying to do video?
Being open to explore, like, what is actually your voice? Because maybe jokes aren't part of your voice, and that's absolutely fine. And it's just having the comfort to go through that process, because it may take you, a few months or a year to know exactly what is my like true voice in this format. So yeah, I think ultimately take away all the kind of technical stuff, all like the flash gear, whatever, like be comfortable with searching for your voice.
I think you got to know why you're doing it, because it is bloody hard work. So you got to know why you're doing it, and you've got to have given thought to, I know once you know why you're doing it, what's the audience for that? And so if you can match those two things and it makes sense, you've got a driving force, and then you just need to put in place a mechanism to actually deliver it, which may be a bit more complicated than it looks.
You both exemplify this. Is like, it helps if you're a bit weird. Like I think there's there what?
I am so mainstream. I don't know about him.
Thanks for watching. To get the PDF of our weekly routine, visit matus.com/routine.